But the VVS is on the tech. 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 Yeah, if you really know what I'm talking about, what I'm referencing right there, I will give you a PS5. If you cannot give me a full video of what I'm referencing, you will get nothing out of me. Instagram DM, don't be late.
A 6-week manhunt, 4 escapes from custody, and a
hit the strip club, and then we pop bottles.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on the capture of Antoine Massey, one of Louisiana's most wanted men. May 16th, 2025. 10 inmates escaped a rotting jail in New Orleans.
That looked like more than 10 people.
Immediately gaining national attention. An intricate plan would begin with a maintenance worker at the Orleans Justice Center cutting off the water to the cell. The inmates would force open a faulty cell door after midnight, rip the toilet from the wall.
Ripping it from the wall is crazy.
A small hole left behind, but not before writing a note for the jail staff.
Bro. The too easy is crazy though, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The too easy LOL with the goddamn arrow is insane, bro. Y'all could at least try to keep it cool. Y'all got so many people fired and sent to jail off this shit. You bogus as hell. And y'all didn't even stay out of jail long. All y'all get caught super fast. Y'all supposed to be in different states fast.
On the way out. One of the biggest jailbreaks in Louisiana history, committed by one of the deadliest groups. Back in April, 19-year-old Corey Boyd was with 2 friends who were pulling on car door handles, attempting to find one unlocked so they could rob it. 38-year-old Mr. Brandon Fees and his girlfriend observed them from their porch. The suspects were approaching his car, so Fees went and confronted them. The veteran would be shot, stood over, and shot again in the head.
What the fuck?
Before being run over by the escape vehicle. 19-year-old Corey Boyd is accused of being the driver. 27-year-old Derek Groves was arrested for attempted murder back in 2014, but would beat the case. 4 years later, Derek would spin again. It was 2018, Mardi Gras, and a group of people were gathered in front of a house in the lower 9th Ward when 2 men ran up with AK-47 style rifles and opened fire. Jamar Robinson was shot in the arm and chest, while Byron Jackson was hit in the head. Both men died while 3 others who were shot luckily survived. One of the surviving victims would later testify against him for shooting him 6 times. Derek would be found guilty of 2 murders and 2 attempted murders, while also pleading guilty to 2 additional murders.
Damn.
But a juror error would result in a mistrial. Derek Groves has been connected to 4.
You know how crazy that is? Like, you can get like certain shit can just happen. You can get a mistrial. You know how crazy and lucky that is, bro. And that be happening to the worst people. Why is this nigga getting a mistrial? Man, keep his ass locked up. The justice system is a joke.
Killings, and he is the only remaining man out of 10 that's still on the run. But the most famous of the group is none other than 32-year-old Antoine Massey. He escaped a juvenile facility, a neighboring adult jail, and twice cut off his ankle monitor before doing the race. Aside from having chess pieces tattooed on his face, Antoine would receive the most attention after he started to post to social media while on the run.
Yeah. I'm one of the ones that was let out of the GC. What I want to talk about today is as far as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail. I was in custody for almost 8 months. All right, 6 months, something like that. So I'm asking for help from the world, from Meat Mills, Lil Wayne, Young Boy.
Why you just name straight rappers, bro? What are they gonna do for you? They're gonna hire you a lawyer and they're gonna find out that you guilty of the same shit. Ain't no way for them to get attached to your hot ass name. Like, what? You just named Massey. You said Meek Mill, Lil Wayne, and Young Boy. What the fuck? What did you think was gonna happen?
Donald Trump, I'm asking for these people. I couldn't even get a lawyer. I couldn't even afford a lawyer to prove my innocence.
These posts would lead to a tip and a home being raided by SWAT, where officers were able to recover some of the clothing Antoine could be seen wearing in the video.
Yeah.
Now, Antoine was asking for help from rappers and even the president, but his list of charges would make anyone say fuck him.
I was in there for theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse involving strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish for. Today, what I want to talk about is that I was on second-degree kidnapping, second-degree rape, domestic abuse battery involving strangulation, domestic abuse battery, violation of protective order, right?
With domestic abuse charges and
as people was hiding this nigga, people was harboring this fugitive. Hey, you talking about people was really like messing with him, like, yeah, you can stay at my crib. You ain't gotta go nowhere, bro. I got you. We gonna do what we can. After reading those charges? Hey, 69 God.
one county, he was being held in New Orleans on another case of domestic abuse as well as car theft. But Antoine also had warrants out for second-degree rape, kidnapping, domestic violence, and violating a protective order.
Wait.
It would seem Antoine has a history of crimes against women, which would categorize him in jail as a no-good piece of shit. Another tip would reach New Orleans police, and 4.5 hours later, Antoine was taken into custody in Holly Grove, the very neighborhood Lil Wayne grew up in. Officers would take pictures with the captured suspect before rebooking him into the same jail he escaped, but they weren't taking any chances. Immediately after being rebooked, Antoine was placed in a helicopter and received a first-class flight to the Louisiana State Penitentiary.
Yeah, he put his ass right there.
Angola, also known as the Alcatraz of the South, is a maximum security prison run like a slave plantation that's home to over 6,000 inmates.
Yeah.
With 9 of the 10 escapees in custody, 13 additional people would be arrested for their assistance in the escape. The maintenance worker who cut off the water to the cell was arrested on suspicion, but he claimed inmates told him the cell was clogged, and if he didn't cut the water, he'd be stabbed. Others helped by either cash apping money, transporting them around the city, and giving them a place to stay.
That's crazy.
By far the deadliest amongst the 10 is Derrick Groves, and he is still on the run. Facing an eternity in prison, it's hard to imagine he's still in Louisiana, as he faces the most severe punishment.
Yeah.
But he's also the most dangerous. And if he's gotten his hands on a weapon, surrendering peacefully might not be an option he's willing to accept. We'll just have to wait and see how the manhunt plays out.
Yeah.
Now this was wild.
It's kind of crazy though. I ain't gonna lie. Even the fact that it's coming to this and people is doing all this crazy out the bam trying to help niggas that got weird cases, weird charges. I can understand your homie if you're trying to help him. You know, you're trying to look out, but he got weird charge on you. Still trying to look out for him. You think you might have to go to jail too, bro? I think you'd have to tip your ass to Angola for a month or two, let you know how that shit feel. Well, you just help this weird ass nigga. Yeah, you talking about, especially nigga got a chest tattoo and all this dumb ass shit on his face, and you thought he was a regular nigga? You tripping? That's your fault, homie.